Today I have with me a very special woman that I feel a kinship with, and her name is Katerina Larden. She is the founder and CEO of Hey Honey, which is a beauty brand that I am in love with. And I have to say, I know she told me that there's a lot of different products that people love. I am loving the CC cream, which I'm still using. And I am loving the eye mask, which I still have some left. Katerina, I am loving this. Thank you for being here today.
So much. I love how you pronounce my name. It just makes it sound so much better than it is.
Wait, how is it supposed to be?
No, it's amazing. The Katerina, it's like a song. I love it.
Well,
Absolutely love it.
I love that, well, that first of all, that you and I met in person before, and because we both live in Sarasota,
Right.
and you launched this beauty company, and I absolutely love the products. And I swear that the eye mask, which I am, one of the things I love, well, apart from the fact that I feel it works and hydrates, and I love the
Right.
consistency and everything, that it is 30 milliliters, is it? 30
Yeah.
ml instead of 15, which is what
Right.
usually is most eye creams, and I use it in the
And it
morning and
lasts
then
forever, right? You've been using
yeah,
it for, I want to say close to what, 2 months now, maybe
whenever
even a
we
little
saw each
more.
other. And I'm
Yeah.
still, and I use it morning and evening.
Yeah. So, so happy that you're loving them, really.
So tell me a little bit about why you launched Hey Honey.
Before Hey Honey was born, I'm still, I still am a busy person, but I was even busier. I think that busy people cannot stop being busy.
Agree, I
Complain
can't.
about how busy, but if you stop for a second, you complain about how boring it is. My husband and myself had very successful and large advertising digital agency, and I had time for everything and everyone else, but me. We started I started like counting all these bottles of untouched product that I had, and I was trying to think, why am I not using them? Why wasn't I using them? It's not like I don't need them, I really do. I wanted to not use 15 products at once because I didn't have time. I sold the company and moved to the US and started thinking about what am I doing? Like, what can I do better in the sense of what kind of skincare would I want to be using? And I couldn't find anything. Decided to launch this brand that was targeting people like me, meaning busy, that don't have 3 hours a day to put product on top of product on top of product. I was never big on that. I was doing my makeup in the car while, sitting in stop signs or lights. And I wanted something that's going to be just as fast and as performing as I am. And I thought there must be a market for that. Like a lot of people don't settle for, oh, okay, this didn't work, but I'll apply 3 other products on top of it and maybe it will. Okay, what ingredients are we thinking about? Like, what do I want to do that really has been proven, and it's not new and upcoming, but we know for like years and years and years that it's been working. And honey and bee propolis were just the top of the list, right? Because it's known to be used in skincare for over 5,000 documented years. So it's not new to anyone. Most people know that honey is good for you. Not a lot of people know why, but it is definitely an ingredient that has been out there. It has been and is researched for different skin conditions, even for more severe than just beauty. So we know that honey and bee propolis specifically are very, very effective. And that's how the journey started, just integrating it into the skincare. So bringing products that are fast acting, that will last because you need just a little bit of it. And the most important thing is I really don't think that anyone needs to buy 16 products. And I don't think you need to change your skincare line, the whole entire line, when you are, I don't know, traveling from Sarasota to Denver, or when summer becomes winter. I don't believe that you need to go through all of this 3 to 4 times a year. So just wanted to bring that you'll have your one products that are your go-to, that will stay with you, that they're always good for you, and your skin, and the products will adjust to what your skin needs. And that's what we're doing. That's what we have been doing for 12 years.
That is wonderful. I was just thinking how, I'm from Spain, and when I was really young, I haven't done this for a long time. My my stepmother would use honey, and then I did it
Yes.
too, as a mask, like honey
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
honey pot, and we
Yeah,
would
from
put it
the,
on our
yeah.
faces. Yeah, yeah. And that was our face mask. And I have to say that my skin always felt wonderful.
With me, it was more like I would fall and scrape my knee, honey on the knee.
Mm,
I would be like, oh, my hair is a little dry. My grandmother, honey. Like I was covered in honey. And for the longest time, I couldn't even eat honey because it was always too sweet for me. Like I didn't like it
that
that
is
much.
so funny.
But just the properties of the honey on the skin and now on the hair, which is launching new hair products, is just something that is so valuable. It's you can't not notice what honey and bee propolis, which is they're both from the beehive, but they're each and one of these ingredients are doing something completely different to the skin.
Mhm.
And honey being more of the your moisturizer, it's antibacterial, it has a lot of great properties, but propolis is been referred to as nature's antibiotics, and a lot of people from Europe are very familiar with the bee propolis. It is newer to the US in terms of of use in skincare. But if you look back at Roman times, they would go to battle and have propolis in their battle gear because they get wounds. Would apply propolis because it's nature's antibiotics. And even for the kids when they were growing up, for my kids, when that was my first go-to before antibiotics, we would
Mm.
spray propolis into their throat when they had a sore throat. We would give them propolis in the morning for the immune system. There was like so many things that you do with it. So I think these two ingredients are just winners when it comes to skincare. And what is when people say that, hey, honey products are so effective, I'm always saying, yeah, but it's not us. It's really these ingredients that are just used in the right way and combined into the formula in the right way, and we are able to preserve most of the properties without compromising it, because a lot of times when you create skincare, you would heat it up to the point that you lose most of the properties. So we have
Mm.
this technology that we really keep most of the properties still going for it. Then it's the ingredients that do that.
In Spain, I also took propolis in the as a supplement in the mornings,
Yes, 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 and I
and
think it's such a wonderful supplement.
it is, and I have forgotten, like it's interesting when you switch from one country or another, or one culture to another, you kind of forget, because in Spain I would be at the for some reason I would be at the like the apothecary, or the store for natural things, and all this is readily available, and here it's a little more difficult to find, or at least I'm not around it as much as I used to be when
Yes,
I
it's
was in
not
Spain.
widely available in stores. You can still get it online, and there are a
Right.
few retailers that still carry it, but it's not as available. And I have to say, even the honey that you get here in the stores is mostly has been modified so much that it doesn't have the same properties. So for people, for example, with allergies, I always suggest just get local honey from local beekeeper.
But also because if you use local, it will
Yes.
deal with the allergies of
Yes,
the particular area that you're at.
exactly. And I'm saying local for that, but also, it's like not mass produced. So many people tell me it's incredible because we have a little beehive behind our office. And when my husband is taking care of that, and when, we hear of someone of our friends that has allergies or something, he's like, here, take some honey. And people swear by it. They're like,
Wow.
I took
That's,
everything, it didn't help me. I'm taking honey. This is like it.
and I was just telling you that I have allergies and I have to have the door open because my dog's
I
coming
was
in and
just
out.
thinking about that when you said that, because I think we'll just give you some of the honey and
That
you
would
let
be
me know.
great.
Yeah, because
Because
right now
I'm
everyone
I'm
has
taking
allergy.
pills, because some days it's like I feel like I'm getting
It's
sick.
bad.
And I was thinking I was catching a cold and I wasn't. It was just, and my throat was closing down. And I'm like, wow, it's just and I had never had allergies in my life. So this is something
Me
relatively
neither, and I
recent.
think this year it's really bad in here in Sarasota. I don't know if in
Telling me
Florida.
that last week something happened that made you more.
So I was talking. So it's funny because I have all ages. Some are over 60, some are just turning 40 or 30s, and they keep asking,
And you mean the clients?
like,
Clients
sorry,
or
friends.
clients? Oh, friends,
No,
friends. Okay,
friends,
okay.
yeah. And they keep saying, okay, did you have midlife crisis at like what age? And I don't think I've had it. I just think that I had probably 1 year that I was really kind of bothered by my age, and that was at 39
Mm-hmm.
because it was the last 30. And it's really strange. It wasn't at 40, it wasn't at 50, 39. But then, you know, so talking about that earlier and how I think something is like off with the stars or something, and it's not exactly going smooth.
Yeah,
But
same.
then 2 months ago, let me go back. Actually, we got involved with a couple of organizations locally because I'm a firm believer that every business that is operating locally and globally need to give back to the community. And the way that we got engaged is with two local organizations. One of them is Women in Crisis and providing safe home and different services and for battered women. And the other one is an organization that is dealing with homelessness.
Mhm.
At some point they connect because a lot of women that are homeless are driven to be living on the streets because of whatever their domestic life look like, and sometimes it's a better choice for them than to stay at home, or sometimes it's not a choice. So a couple of ago, maybe almost 2 months ago, I went to visit a few of the homes of one of the organizations that we're working with and supporting. And I've met 12, I want to say 12 incredible ex-homeless women that are now trying to change their lives. And they are in those homes. And it's called Second Heart Homes. And the organization is called that. And what they do is they provide a home for the homeless, which is the first step into, dealing with homelessness. But they also provide other services. So all of these women have been living on the street for some of them for a very, very long time. I'm talking like, tens of years. And some of them a little bit less, but all of them had really rough life. We have misconceptions about homelessness, I think, because I don't know if we all want to admit to it. When you walk by a homeless person, in your brain, you already know their story. You never ask them. You never stopped and talked to anyone. And Megan is the one that formed this organization. She actually got into it because at some point in her life, then she talked to
Mm-hmm.
a homeless person and then she kept talking to him. And it's a very long and interesting story how she got into this. But sitting with these women, I've heard the term "I'm so lucky" so many times in the 3 hours that I've spent with them.
I'm so lucky, correct?
I'm so lucky
Right.
because of whatever reason. I'm so lucky that I'm here now.
Wow.
One said, I'm so lucky because I didn't actually have to sleep on the street more than I had to sleep in my car for 3 years. I'm so lucky that I got out of this. I'm so lucky that I found this job. And I thought, when was the last time that I heard I'm so lucky from people
Anyone.
around
Yeah.
that has it a little bit easier than they do? And just thinking about the struggles, like think about this. They live on the street, right? Now they have a home, great. They need to get to the grocery store, to an interview. They don't have a car. They don't
Yeah.
have a license. How they get there?
Or money to get an
Like,
Uber,
or
maybe.
money. it's like this really vicious cycle, right? Or to buy clothes. Um, so that puts you in perspective because they are, and I'm like, "Ah, I'm so tired, and I'm thinking, no, yes, I'm struggling today, but this is not anywhere close to what they're going through or have been through. And still, every other sentence I hear, I'm so lucky.
You're correct. And it's interesting because the other day we were walking downtown or maybe driving downtown. And I do know that now downtown Sarasota has these very expensive buildings with
Right.
condos, and the owners are complaining about the homelessness and because the Salvation Army is near downtown and all of this. And as we were driving near in the Rosemary district where the graveyard is and all these homeless people are there, and then I was watching some tourists walk and turn into that street. I was just thinking how exactly what you're saying, that we don't know the stories of how they ended up there and why aren't we looking at why are all these people homeless instead of judging them for just being there and ruining our view, or as which is how I think society views this, is like, oh, they're ruining downtown, they're ruining our view, instead of wow, and as someone who's been on welfare myself, I realized at some point this could happen to anyone.
Yes.
We're all I'm not
Yes.
going to say that we're all a step away from homelessness, but it's but the wrong thing can happen to you, and conditions can just come together that put you, as it happened to me. And I was very happy to put my face to it, saying I was on welfare, and nobody would have looked at me and thought that. And I was lucky that I had the food stamps, and I will never forget when the person from the supermarket said, "Do you want to donate to the needy?" And I pulled out my card, my food stamp card, and I said, "Today I'm the needy." Because I didn't want anyone else to be embarrassed of their situation, and I was treated different in some stores because I was paying with that card. And I won't say which stores, but it was very upsetting. It was upsetting. And then I realized, wow, there's another side to all of this.
There is, and each and every story is a world. You really can't categorize. Not everyone that's out there is on drugs. For
Exactly.
sure, not everyone that is there started because they were on drugs. A lot of them got into alcohol or drugs after they've been already out there. It's just like you said, sometimes it's just one extra stumble
Mhm.
on what's called life, and that's it, and you fall. And many times they're not real help. Because
Correct.
I'm not saying, even in Sarasota, I'm not saying that they're not doing enough, but when they're doing, it's collectively. And you can't put everyone, like one of the women was saying, I was in a home that was provided to me. I've never smoked, drank, or did drugs in my life. But to be there, they wanted me to go to all these meetings
Oh,
for, it's like, because it's like a cookie cutter, right? This is the
right.
process you have to go through without understanding maybe there is something else. And a lot of them have mental, issues that have been developed throughout the time or out there, or and it can be very easily treated in the so many times it's just they're just pushed to that. And again, I'm not blaming anyone because it's really hard to take each and every one individual and solve their issues specifically, which is really, with Second Heart Homes, they're trying to do that. But it's a problem. It's a problem. And I think, especially where we live, that everything is getting so expensive, and everything is getting so out of reach. And they have nowhere to go.
So did this all make you think about the mission of your company, or just as your
Both,
existence
both,
as a woman?
both. I think that first of all, every business has a responsibility to give something back.
Mm.
It does not have to be donations of millions of dollars. there's so many ways to give back. You can volunteer. For us, we're giving products. We're
Mhm.
also donating, but that's like beside the point. We're giving products, and I think that a lot of people using products makes them happier.
Yes, I
You
agree.
feel happier
I
to
do.
you, and think about people didn't have that
Yeah.
available to them, right? Because it's not a necessity. I think every business needs to give back. And I don't think that here specifically we're doing enough for that. I think every restaurant can give back, every small
Mhm.
business, every doctor's office, like everyone can donate time or money or product. The other part of it is just my own personal journey. I feel that, I have something to, not to compare, but to bounce off of. It's like looking rough. It's like I have to keep going, not only for me, not only for the kids, not only, but also so I can keep helping others. And actually, Megan, the founder of Second Heart Homes, she told me a really story how they were promoting their organization at this fair, and this guy walked up to them, started talking, and she told him about the organization, and he said, um, "So what do you need?" And she said, "Homes,
Mhm.
houses," and he wrote her a check
Oh
for
my goodness.
a house. And I was telling that to my husband, and his response was like the first thing he said is like, I want to be that person. I want to be the one that can like check right now and give it to someone out in the street and be like, here, buy a home. Right.
Yeah,
And
that's
I think you're doing something good and you're giving back, but you also, it's a little selfish because you feel so good about it.
true. That's true, but that's
Right.
good. Not everyone feels good giving things away. And as you were talking about midlife crisis at, you said 39, my only crisis that I can think of with my age was 25, which sounds
Really?
crazy. Yes.
Why?
Because it was a quarter of a century. That's how it felt to
Oh,
me. It was like
interesting.
it was very interesting because I've never had that feeling ever again. And I felt like I was standing at this precipice and from there it was all going to go downhill or I
God.
was going straight to
So not true, right? Like so
not at
wrong.
all, but it was
Right.
that age and it lasted like a month or something like that around my birthday. And then I never had it again. I never had it again. But as for midlife crisis, like I also don't think I had one. But in reality, when I think of that at 45, I lost everything and had to start over and lost was divorced and with nothing, etc. Maybe that was not a crisis. It was just something that happened and it wasn't age related, but it prompted me to change a little bit a lot how I was doing things. So, but even
That's
at
probably
60,
part of
I
your
don't
path. Yeah, I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. Even at 60, I don't feel that I've done everything I am supposed to do. And I still don't know what my goals are. Do you know that? Do you have goals for personal or professional goals for before you turn 60, for example?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'm trying to think how to put this. I'm very curious about, things that happen in my future. I don't have goals. I was never big on setting enormous goals because I think that I was always too focused on a big goal and missing out on life.
Uh-huh.
And it's like this narrow vision was always scaring me because I'm like always, oh, there's something interesting here and there's something interesting here. And like why would I miss on that? Very lucky that I have a partner that kind of we have the same kind of take on life. So of course some point to sell the company and I can't even say to retire because that's like not an option. Do something else.
Is it not
you
an
know
option financially, or is it not an option because you don't want to retire?
right now I don't want to. When it comes it's going to be right for me and for the company. And and then that's going to be the time like, okay, so what I do next, and it's probably going to be very very different than I'm doing now because otherwise I just keep doing it here and now. but it's probably going to be, I'm very interested in, I like real estate and, things like, it's probably going to be something in that, but like, who knows?
So interesting because a lot of people feel that, like, even at 60, people are asking me, are you still working? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I will, me because I need to, and also because I want to. I will
And
work till
why
I die.
still, like why people say still,
I don't
like,
know, but they
are you
tell me,
working?
are you,
Are you,
no, are you still working? And I'm like, I'm very much so. And yeah, I'm not retired or anything like that. A lot of people here who are retired and they're younger than me. So,
but also you changed your whole career path and doing your age too. Well, like most people don't make this drastic of a change, and I
mm,
have too.
hmm.
Like, I could have continued in the same kind of position that I was before and keep doing internet and digital and everything, and it's just not what I wanted to do. So we both changed that path later on in life. And I think that's what keeps us going. I don't know about you, but I'm
Oh,
assuming
yes, of
that's the same
course.
because it's still like new to
What would
you.
you tell a woman who is perhaps, I don't know, 50, maybe younger? I don't know, because I don't think midlife is an age. I think it's a
Right,
time in one's life.
right.
And I still feel like I'm in midlife, and I know I'm not in the middle of my life, but I still feel like I'm not an old person or older. So what would you tell a woman in midlife, nondescript age who maybe wants to launch something? Like I know there's someone in St. Pete who just launched or is launching her own skincare brand, and she started out as an influencer and beauty pageant winner, actually. And she's turning or just turned 60. And I was thinking, wow, with all the beauty products out there, like how can someone think of, like, I wouldn't even dare to go there, me, Lorraine, because I feel there's so much beauty stuff out there, and yet you did it. You launched a beauty line, and you've been going for 12 years, and you're adding new products. You're soon coming out with a hairline. And how did you dare do that? And how would you tell someone else to dare do that?
I can say the same thing to you. Join the influencer space, and it's a very competitive. I would never dare doing what you're doing. Like, I just don't have the guts for it. Honestly, I admire you for doing it and doing it so successfully. But you dove head first, right? You dove in head first, just still to a very competitive, even though it wasn't the same as it is today, but you weren't the first one. And you found your way. And it's the same with our business or any other business. There is more than one way to do things. So there's so many, first of all, there's millions of brands that you've never heard of.
True.
They're still successful, they're still kicking, they're still making money. Um, so being open, that brings with it, and just being like, okay, just like you asked me before, I'm not launching a brand just to go in Sephora and after that, and if I didn't do this, then I'm a done deal and that's it. No, there's so many ways. There's so many different target markets and audiences, and you can do your own thing. You can do it small in I don't know, in different. You can do it for estheticians. You can target specific need. You can, there's Amazon, Walmart, like there's so many different ways to manage your business that there is always an opportunity. The opportunities don't die. We just ignore them most of the time.
Oh, that's such a great line. I love that.
No, we really do, because they come, this. It's exactly like that joke for this guy that is drowning, and he's like, oh, I need God, I need help. And they're boat and they're like, can we help you and pick you up? And he's like, no, I'm waiting, with I'll be fine. And then there is a small plane that it's the same thing. And then there is this people swimming on their board. And they're like, can we help? no, God will help me. I'm like all good. Keeps refusing everything, and then like he drowns, right? So the angels go to God, and why? He was like such a firm believer. And he says, listen, I sent him a boat, I sent him a plane, I sent him a paddleboard. Take it. What else can I do? It's kind of like that. So opportunities are out there. You need to be open for them. And you start a business at 50, you come with so much more wisdom, experience, knowledge, intuition than a 20-year-old.
No,
Take advantage of
agreed.
that.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Like
life.
use right. Life gave you and make it better, right?
Absolutely. And one of the things, for example, of being online that I've been dealing with lately, because I've had a couple of videos go viral, and that also attracts a lot of trolls and people who will come and insult you for, and they're not, I know they're not insulting me personally. They don't know who I am. They don't know me. Um, but sometimes it's hard. And I don't think I could have mentally and emotionally dealt with that in my 20s. I had an eating disorder, I was depressed, and it's just not the same. And I don't even understand how young people can do this and not be tremendously affected. And maybe because they grew up with it and it's just another part of their lives. But I also think that, for example, in the midlife influencer space, when I started and even now, I don't have that much competition, honestly. And I'm really in um because there are a lot of things that go into play with being successful, whether it's with a beauty product or your business or anything else, which is quality and
Right.
consistency
Right.
and variety and being adaptable and being able to do a number of things. And I think for yourself, being an entrepreneur, you're also being adaptable and you're also having to produce quality and
You
all
have
the
to. I mean, take for
not everybody
example,
does it though. That's why they're
I
not
know, but
successful.
but that's the reality of our life. Like think about life before COVID.
Hmm.
How many things since then? So many, right? Like so many things have changed from the way we work and how we operate and um remote work and all and deliveries and media and like everything had changed, right? And keeps changing on us. How can you succeed in life without being able to adapt to all of that? And also for you, just, I think what you're doing is exactly what before that there is more than one way, right? So
Mm.
you try to come into the space and be another influencer, like you found your way. You speak the way that only you can speak. You're being true to, to what you are giving out there. And I think that's what I'm I'm sure that there is not much competition, but I'm sure that many have tried.
Well, I think that I don't know if I even agree because and not that I don't agree with you that they haven't tried, that they haven't tried enough. Like a lot of people give up very easily in any endeavor, not just being an influencer. Like I have a friend who wanted to publish a book and she had one rejection, couldn't take it, and then self-published. I was like, one rejection? My husband has hundreds. But that's the
Right.
only way to actually end up with a success is to have a lot of failure and to dare. And I'm not saying that rejection is easy. It is not. It's awful and
It's
hard.
never easy age at any stage, it's never easy.
Never, never. But I think, have you ever had a moment with this particular business, or maybe in any business that you've ever taken on, that you thought, oh my gosh, I'm not going to pull through this one, some hard thing, something that you thought was going to happen, didn't happen. Like I get that a lot as a freelancer for life. I've had gigs fall through many times. Um, but I always have to trust that there's another one around the corner. And not everyone is built that way. Not everybody can take that uncertainty and continue to wake up in the morning and do their thing without the reinforcement that's what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I had that moment. Honestly, like to me, and I think I've created it like my personal game kind of thing is when it's the hardest, that's where I get most challenged. to make it into something good, I'm like, this is not gonna drag me down. Like, this is not an option. How, what is the escape way? Like, of this and make it better. And it's almost like a challenge. Like, I want to look back and say, I won this, like, you're very competitive with your yoga and all the workout and all that. And I think for me, unfortunately, it's not that. I wish I was a little bit what you are in that sense. But for me, it's the business in the business sense. And it's not to prove anything to anyone else. It's just to me. I want to see how I take, not gonna let this drag me down. So I haven't had that, but it's definitely not always easy. I mean, if someone says that I'm gonna start a business and everything is gonna be peachy from now on, no.
That is so true, but I did want to clear up that it's not that I'm competitive in my physical endeavors, it's that it's a way to regulate my mental health. And it's not, I can't say, oh, I have this discipline or, I'm so regimented and look at me. It's more that I am obsessive and compulsive, and I just learned to channel it towards, working out or working
But
or
how do
whatever.
you do it even when you are hurting and you can't get up and you get, like
Well,
like
because
horrible.
I can think of how it's going to make me feel afterwards. And I still struggle with depression, both from an inside perspective and also triggered by things that happen in life. And usually my response it used to be to go out for a run. Now it could be to hit the gym and lift weights because now I can. My shoulders are better. I did have an injury last year. And, it's like yesterday I had this, uh, news that I need a biopsy. And I was like, what? Thrown off completely. And then in the evening, I went to the gym and I forgot everything for that hour and a half. And knowing that I'm going to come out and feel strong emotionally, mentally, and physically is what drives me. Some days I don't feel like going, honestly, but it's that idea of, oh my gosh, I'm going to feel so much better at every level when I come out, that's what keeps me motivated, quite honestly.
And that's amazing. And I think that sometimes maybe if I translate it to my business sense, it would just make me feel that like, you another one, and then you just do what you need to do, and then it just look back and makes you feel so much better. So it's that, but also I get emails and I get the reviews and the people that I meet randomly, and they're like, oh, you're Hey Honey, and that this product has changed my
Mm.
life, or not my life, but my life with skincare, right? I struggle with, and that was helping me so much. And that's what keeps me going too, because like it's like, again, it's like you could have um you could be out there, putting your heart out, and you have no audience, and you worked really hard and no one saw it. And it would be the same with us, right? So we work really, really hard, and then says, I have a rosacea and I could never get rid of it. And I went to doctors and and your product, your Relax, is the only thing that made me feel confident about my skin again. I was like, you know, that's my payoff. Like,
That's
really,
nice to hear that. That's nice to hear that.
it
And
really gets me going and keeping me going.
one thing, and I think I told you when we met in person, was that when I am the opposite of you. I love putting stuff on my face. I don't
I
care if
know.
it takes 5 hours. And I really enjoy the process. And so before I go to bed or in the morning, I look at all the stuff that I have there. And I'm not using that much right now, but I do. I remember telling my husband one night, looking at everything, I said, every night before I start putting on all my creams, I have this sense of magic possibility that something beautiful is just about to happen. And I need to say that even at my worst moments, taking care of myself, taking care of my skin, whatever products were available to me then, probably not very expensive. And it doesn't have to be expensive, just what you said, is
Doesn't.
that to be effective, it
Right.
just needs to actually be effective. And
Right.
that's it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so I love it when I find something that I'm like, wow, this is it. This is very good, and I like it, and I will buy it again. And it has happened to me that I get PR packages, and sometimes that's how I discover a brand, and then I become a client.
Right.
So, I'm not
It's
just
that
waiting for free stuff. I'm actually excited to learn about new possibilities and helping
because
small
it's
businesses.
interesting and it's interesting to find what works for you and what your skin wants, right? And it's to me, it's always like if I have those days that I don't drink water for a very, very long period of time. And I get like to the afternoon, the evening, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't drink water today. And I take like the first sip. To me, that's how it feels like when you put your moisturizer on your face. It's like it's all of a sudden like refreshing and it's so new. And it's known that skincare does lift your spirit up. Skincare makes you feel better.
I have to agree 200%. And I'm
Yeah,
talking, I mean, it's not going to get you out of a deep depression where you need medication or to see a
it's
therapist.
not replacing that, but it definitely lifts your spirit up. Yeah, 100%.
But even
It just,
makeup and doing your hair,
yeah,
and for me,
yeah.
all of that is, and I think I'm very, very fortunate that I had a person in my life when I was very young, not my mother, that I grew up without a mother, but this woman showed me the importance of self-care, and I just ran with it. And I think that not even in my youth, when I might go out and, drink too much or whatever, I still took my makeup off at night. I've never slept with my makeup on. And I think that it takes a special kind of person to do it.
It does because everyone seems with that a little bit. Like every time, like, okay, be honest. Did you go makeup on? A lot of people go like, yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
that
So
being said, when I go to the dentist, I have to admit that I don't floss as much as I should. So I sin in different areas, but for the face, I'm like, I don't care if I'm coming in at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm gonna wash my face and put something on because I think it's really good. If you had to choose, I don't know, like 3 products from your line that you would love someone watching this to try, and that they might be completely blown away, what would that be?
so you're holding one of them, but my
Mm,
take, and I'll tell you the other two, and then we'll go back to this one. So I don't know, you remember we're in the same era that we used to go to buy our mothers or the women in our lives would go to buy skincare. And my mother would define herself always, I have a very dry skin. What product to use? And to me, that had disappeared because I have dry and oily and acne and um, times, and I have all of it on this one face.
me too.
So I like the products that are really adjusting to, I don't need to say I have oily and then I'll use it here, but then I have here dry, so let me do another product. And so choose 3 that are really doing that. So the first one is by all means the CC cream that you're holding. And I think that one of the things that I love about this the most is that it is made for a group that is a little bit older than in their early 20s. So it is staying on. You don't have to renew it. You have experience with it, right? You can put just a little bit and just like for natural coverage when you go somewhere on a Saturday, or you can layer it if you go at night. And so it just works so well and has a SPF, of course, 46, which is really important and something that you need in your skincare. And it is self-adjusting. So we only have 5 shades and we're actually launching the 6th one, which is going to be fair, but you put it on and you'll see how within 5 minutes it's kind of adjusting to your skin tone. That's why I love it. Overthink, and you don't have to, oh, I'm a little bit more tan now, so let's look into the next shade. Usually, unless you like go and you like, fry yourself, usually it will adjust to your skin tone. The second one that I would choose is the Good Morning serum. And the reason is it is my morning, like my busy morning routine, because
Mhm.
it is a moisturizer, it's a serum, it's a moisturizer, but it's also under makeup primer.
I love that.
So I put it on, I put the CC cream over it, and I'm like ready to go. And it just gives you this like canvas ready to go skin, which I love that. And my third go-to, which I can't live without, and I don't know if you tried it, I think I gave it to you, is the Walk the Walk, the food, which I am,
Here
yes, is the
you go.
Walk the Walk,
Oh, yes.
which this is the mini size.
Yeah.
I can say things about this, has over 50 different herbs. And it is just so good, especially here in Florida. We're walking around in our flutes most of the day, and we just can't look like, so this is incredible, and one of our best sellers. And so three products that you absolutely need. Now, if you do have rosacea or any kind of sensitivity or redness, the Relax is really your go-to.
I think I
Now,
tried that one at night
yeah,
and I
it's a
really,
really
really
good. Now,
liked it.
I want to add one more product that it's not specifically or necessarily just for the face, and it's called 911 Pro Gel. And the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yes.
Okay, how the
Yes.
Windex is like
Yes.
for everything. This is my Windex. It's funny because I'm not the first one. People, you go online and you'll see people actually saying, "This is my Windex." It is literally for everything. And the reason I love it so much is because you have everything your whole life. You wake up, you have something on your face that wasn't there the night before. I cook and I started baking sourdough bread recently. So I burn
Yeah,
myself
yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
constantly. 911. Um, too much sun, 911, bug bites, anything, anywhere on your face, on your body that has gone wrong, 911.
I need
And
that.
it is, okay, on the way to you. Really, you have
Oh,
kids that
yeah.
keep
Yeah.
falling off the bikes,
Yeah.
911. It is literally, it is the most concentrated propolis that you can get in a product. That's why it's so effective. So it helps. We have friends that been through like knee surgeries, they would apply it, just gonna be gone. Like it's really, really very effective. Burns, a lot of things. So that would be like I have to have it in my purse product. Everything else is like for my fun use.
That's very nice. And I really have to say that I do like that the CC cream is adaptable and that they're not a million shades. I dislike very
Right.
much having to find one shade that is exactly. And I remember when we met and you gave it to me, I thought maybe it's, I don't, I forget if I thought it was too light or too dark. I don't know, but it's perfect. It's exactly what
What are
you're
you
saying.
using? What shade are you using? Is that
This is
medium?
the, I think it's a light medium.
Yeah, light to
Yeah,
most
light
people
medium, light
think,
medium.
yeah, most skin tones would be light to medium, right around
Yeah.
there. I use light to medium. I use tan. I can go with both. It depends what I want that day. Now I have the tan on me, but it really depends. Just because it really adjusts. Like, and I don't know if you have the same experience with it, but when you first put it on, it just doesn't look right the first second, and then you look in the mirror like 3, 4 minutes later, and like, oh, okay, it adjusted.
And I have to say, because it's usually I apply this in the morning and I have it in the bathroom instead of where my makeup is, which is
Mhm.
somewhere else. And so I apply it first thing after I've done, cream and other stuff. And then maybe I get online and people say, "Oh my gosh, your skin is so good," and I'm like, "Well, I'm
Mhm.
wearing this." And it's just that I'm wearing nothing else. No, nothing on my eyes or lips or anything. And it really
It's
does
also
give that.
skincare. So it's not only
Mhm.
color. That's why it's so effective. You also get the benefit of the moisturizer. So we are a skincare company. We're not a color company,
Mhm.
we're not a color brand. And the most important thing is to deliver skincare properties first, and just to be able to combine it such an effective coverage that I think that a lot of CC creams or color cosmetics make you look dry and like almost, and just having a product that has so many moisturizers in it just makes you look glowing.
Yep, yep. I can attest and I get a lot of compliments, so thank you. for that.
Thank you. Thank you for trying this. And I love that you love them.
I do.
That
And
means a
thank
lot
you.
because you try a lot.
I do. And but it's interesting because I do have like favorites, and then I'll have things, for example, sometimes I rebuy them. If somebody gives me something, I really like it, I will buy it. But I think that this is like a great goodness, the eye cream. I am in love with the eye cream. What can I say? The eye mask. The eye
It's really
mask.
effective.
It's great, and I will buy it again. And I also alternate more expensive products with more affordable products, depending honestly on my mood or my budget that month or whatever.
Right.
So it's not that I'm not faithful to a lot of brands. So this is saying a lot coming from.
A lot of brands would position their prices based
Hmm,
on where they want to be positioned as a brand
right. Hmm,
and not necessarily connected to how much it really costs to make the product. And we have products all over the range. Like we have some that are very, on the lower side of the MSRP and all the way to, and it really depends on what we're using, ingredients, packaging, and everything that comes with it. I just don't think that we have to be like I have to be a 60 and up retail price for all of my product brand. We're not there. But like this is what it costs, this is what the fair price to sell it, you'll feel. And people say, oh, it's so little. Like you said, it's 30 and not 15. I get a lot of the other like it's so little, it's only
Oh,
30 mLs, or
oh
it's
yeah,
only,
the right.
for yes, but I'll give you 5 products that have 30 ml, and one would last a week, the other one would last a month, and ours would last 2 months. So what do you want to, pay for at the
That
end of
is
the day?
true. And I have to say that I've been using this a lot, and there's still a lot in there.
It
So,
also comes in an airless bottle, so you
yeah,
really do get the most of it because the airless, it just keeps pushing the product up, so you it all the way to the top, because in tubes or any other bottles that have pumps, I think probably 20% of the product stays on the outside of
it does.
the or the
It does.
inside of the walls, and just gets stuck there. And with this, you really get like 99% product.
And I like that because I've had to, with other kinds of bottles, I've had to cut it because I
I
don't want
do
to,
that.
I don't want to
It's
waste anything
sort of like
and stick my
digging.
fingers. I do
I've done
that.
that.
And it's not necessary. It's just like I don't like to throw money away. I like to take advantage of every little bit. So I really appreciate this. Katerina, it's been a pleasure again. You and I could talk for hours like we did
I
last
know
time. I
we
think
can.
we closed the place where we were at, and they
Yes.
wanted to kick us
We
out.
need to close a couple of others.
So please tell us where people can find your products and you.
So we are at heyhoney.com, obviously. We have a store on Amazon for those that feel more comfortable in Amazon. We are on qvc.com, hsn, ulta.com, and Macy's.com.
This is amazing. Thank you very, very much. I will put
Thank you
everything
so
in the
much for
notes
having me. It
below,
was such a pleasure.
and I always love talking to you.
Same here.